Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Nation here, and I know it has been way too long, but I am back to do my final pregnancy update for you guys. I am 9.5 months pregnant, 38 weeks and 1 day, and I still have not told you guys about months 6, 7, 8, and I'm gonna fill you in on this little bit of month 9. So we have a lot to cover. I know it's been a while, but I'm gonna catch you guys up right now. For this video, instead of going week by week, I'm just gonna do months at a time and tell you the new things that happen during those months. Alright, so I have my phone here for my notes, what I wrote down. So month 6, that was fun because that is when I first started to experience Charlie horse cramps on like a regular basis. So the first one happened in the middle of the night. I oftentimes like to stretch my legs out. It's something that I've always done multiple times. When I toss and turn at night, I'll stretch. And all of a sudden, this one night, I stretched and I had the worst Charlie horse cramp in the back of my calf. And at the time, I didn't know how to get rid of it. So I just like sat there and like I was just going through the pain like, oh my gosh, this hurts so bad. And there was nothing that I knew that I could do to hurry up and stop it. So yeah, that was terrible. And that made me start to research what can I do to get rid of the Charlie horse cramps. Because if I stretched too much, I could feel it starting to come. So I started to take this supplement called Calm, and it's a magnesium supplement. It's like a powder that you can mix in with water, and the midwife recommended it because I was noticing that when I was drinking Gatorade, that the Gatorade would take it away. But she was saying that Gatorade just has too much sugar in it, and that the Calm supplement would just be healthier and a better option. So I started taking that, and not only did it help with the Charlie horse cramps, it actually does calm you. So my sleep was deeper, and you just feel more relaxed. So if you're someone who deals with Charlie horse cramps often, try the Calm supplement. It doesn't taste bad. You don't need a lot of it in your water, and it does work. However, the quickest, most efficient way to get rid of the Charlie horse cramps is to literally just flex your foot away from you. So mine happened in my leg, in my calf, like right back there. So instead of just relaxing my foot, I would flex it toward myself, and almost immediately the cramp goes away. So if that's where you get them, that's all you gotta do. So that's what I do now. I really don't even take the supplement because it's just the extra step, something else I have to drink. And I just flex. That works perfectly fine for me. But yeah, that was something that happened starting month 6, and it still happens if I'm not hydrated enough. And yeah, if I feel it coming, hurry up and flex my foot backward, and it goes away. Y'all, I just started talking and I'm so out of breath. Like, it's ridiculous how this works. Like, I'm so tired just from talking. Okay. Alright, so something else that I did during month 6 was I had my glucose test. And You know, that's when they test how quickly your body can process the sugar. And if your numbers are over a specific limit, then they test you again. If you fail that one, then you have gestational diabetes. So I had that test done, and I feel like it kind of worked out in my favor because I got the 75 grams and I was only supposed to get 50 grams of the drink. And so I had already drank it, and when they realized it, they were like, okay, so for the 75 gram drink, you have to wait 2 hours instead of 1. And they said, you know, we can either retest you, or if you want, you can sit here and wait for the 2 hours. So I was like, I'm not drinking that again. I mean, really, it wasn't that bad. And they let me drink water, but it was just so sweet. It was so sweet. It was like ridiculously sweet fruit punch. But anyway, so I was like, yeah, I'm gonna wait. I don't want to have to come back. So I waited the 2 hours, and then they drew my blood, and everything was fine. I passed with flying colors. Hold on. Come here. Sit down. Sit down. Look who decided to join us. Okay, so that was month 6. If anybody over exaggerates to you about the glucose drink, it's really not that bad. It's very sweet, but it's not like super disgusting like everybody makes it out to be. So you'll be fine. Also during month 6 is when I signed up for a birth class, and the birth class was online. It was 4 hours long. It was through this hospital in the area, and honestly it was a waste of my money and my time. So actually this week, tomorrow, today's Tuesday, the 25th, tomorrow I'm going to be taking a more hands-on in-person class to just practice my breathing, have my husband come, and he'll practice how to best support me during labor. But the online class that I took was such a waste of money. I don't recommend it to anybody. If you really want to take a class, do one that's in person. Yeah, but I also did that month 6. So clearly, as you can see, for month 6 the symptoms were very minimum. I did not have a bunch of new symptoms from month 5. The only new thing was the Charlie horse cramps. Alright, so now let's move on to month 7. So on top of the Charlie horse cramps, something new that I started to experience was a different kind of nerve pain from the baby. So in my previous video, I said that I had experienced a little bit of lightning crotch, which was like, you know, the shooting pain down in the vagina. But these sensations were different from that. It was almost as if she was just like, I don't know, pinching on something inside, and it was a very specific spot in my vagina that every time she touched it I would feel it there, and it was just so uncomfortable and would literally like stop me in my tracks like, okay baby, you gotta move. I don't know how to explain to you how it felt, because it wasn't like lightning. It was like, I don't know. And every now and then I still feel it depending on where she is. She's very, very low, head down, and sometimes she just leans on something awkwardly, and it's like, okay girl, you got to move. But thank God her feet are all the way up here, and I've never been kicked in the ribs. So that's amazing. In addition to that nerve pain down there, I was also experiencing back pain, a lot of back pain, and it was just that throbbing, aching, the pain that I'm feeling right now by sitting on the floor in this awkward position. That's what I was feeling all the time. So I had to start wearing my back brace at work. And then I noticed that when I would go to sleep at night, I would have no relief either. So I have a big pregnancy pillow that is usually Life. It's wonderful. But even that wasn't working. I could not really get comfortable. And yeah, it was just a lot of back pain. So working started to get really hard. When I got off of work, I was sore. I had to soak in some Epsom salt or just lay down and do nothing when I got off of work. So month 7 was rough for my back, and I think it was just her growing, getting bigger, running out of space. And I'm not working right now. Obviously I'm not in half month pregnant, but when I was working, it was bad. So I had to really step back from what I usually do at work and take it easy because I was starting to feel the difference. And then something else that was starting to happen during month 7 and has still continued is my appetite went down drastically. I went from being able to eat, a regular meal at Chick-fil-A to going back to eating my kids' meals at Chick-fil-A. And I ate less meals throughout the day and was full faster. And once again, I think it's just because she was running out of space. And so that is something that I'm still dealing with now, is that I just can't eat as much as I used to. And I'm okay with that because the amount of weight that I've gained during this pregnancy is ridiculous. It's over 40 pounds that I've gained. So I asked my midwife if that's something that they should be concerned about, and they're just like, no, I mean, you're healthy, my blood pressure is good, don't have diabetes, and baby's looking good, so no, it's okay. But I'm like, oh my gosh. So another thing for month 7 is my sleep started to go down the drain. I mean, and I guess that can tie in with the back pain. I just could not get comfortable. I was tossing and turning, barely sleeping at night. Back was hurting. I would wake up, different body parts would be numb, like, when your hand or something, your fingers fall asleep, my foot would fall asleep. It was just uncomfortable. And I'm glad that since then that has gone away. But month 7 was rough for back pain and sleep, for sure. Okay, so that was it for symptoms for month 7. The only other thing non-symptom related is that I actually had my 4D ultrasounds done during that month. So I was 30 weeks when I had the first one done, and baby girl was not cooperating. She did not want to show us her face at all, and we could not hardly see anything. So that was my first one. I think I was 30 weeks. And then I had my follow-up one at 32 weeks, so that was month 8. And at that appointment, she did cooperate, and we got some good pictures. So I'll insert some of those right here.
Got a clear picture.
Way better than last time. No hands in the face.
chubby
Hello?
She
cheeks.
does have chubby
I'm trying to
cheeks.
call you. Alright.
So her head is still down, but sideways.
No, it's down. Just to get that nice profile, I have to angle it like so.
Okay.
But no, she. Oh, look at her.
Oh my baby. She got a big old nose like her father.
Work.
Oh, that's so cute. Look at her.
Wow. He got some strong genetics. Wow. I cannot wait to see her.
Oh, I'm glad she's cooperating this time.
Oh, look at that
That
little
is
smile.
so cute.
Look at her.
Oh, chunky face.
She
Yes,
is
she
chunky.
does.
She is chunky.
Yeah, I had chubby
You had
cheeks.
chunky cheeks.
Mm-hmm.
See, she's not all that.
I was a big baby too, though.
Oh no. How big are we talking?
9 pounds.
Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
I know.
Chipmunk cheeks. Oh my goodness.
Well, you're really tiny, so I don't think you're gonna push out a 9
Yeah.
Thank
pound.
goodness. But last time she was like almost 4 pounds when they measured
Oh
her at
my
the last one. I'm
goodness.
like, oh gosh. So yeah, that appointment was super exciting because I got little clips and little glimpses of what she's going to look like. I don't know how close it's going to be to the 40 pictures, but I had to do it. Alright, so month 8. We already talked about the follow-up 40 ultrasound that I had. The symptoms that I had for that month was the worst one that I still deal with now is indigestion. Okay? So let me talk to y'all about this indigestion. The first time I had it, I woke up out of my sleep choking on vomit. Okay? But it wasn't like a mouthful of vomit. It was just right in the back of my throat where it was like, oh, you're about to throw up, hurry up and swallow it. And when you swallow it, it burns so bad because of the acid in the vomit. And then you start coughing like crazy because your throat is burning. And then you're like, okay, it went down. You drink some water. Cool, we're fine. You lay back down. 3 minutes later, you're up, choking again. And the cycle continues. So, month 8 is when that started. And the first night that it happened, I was not aware of what exactly it was. I never experienced indigestion before, only heartburn. And it was not heartburn, it was indigestion. And I did not have any Tums on hand. I was not prepared. And so for 5 or 6 hours straight, my body was trying to digest the food, and the indigestion, acid reflux was just non-stop. I literally had to sit on the couch and like go like this. Even this was too much of a lean, and the throw up was still coming up. So that night was awful. I have no other words to describe it as. It was awful. The day after that, I went and got some Tums. When I had my next appointment with my midwife, I let her know that's what I was experiencing. And she was like, first of all, you cannot eat food late anymore. So don't eat at least 2 hours before you want to lay down and go to bed. And then when you do eat, do not eat a big meal. And that's something that I was like, well, I'm not really eating big meals anyway. I get full fast. But she was explaining to me that different foods that we eat require different acids to break them down. So say you eat a meal with a bunch of different things, like you have a little bit of protein, you have some carbs, you have a lot of sugar. She was like, for instance, if you eat some spaghetti or lasagna and you have the pasta, the sauce, the meat, and then you go and eat a vegetable, and then you have dessert like some ice cream or something. The combination of all of those together is a recipe for disaster, especially if you eat it right before you lay down, because there's so many different acids that have to work to break the different foods down. You're just going to be SOL. So I was like, okay, cool. I'm going to stop eating late. So my last meal has to be before 7 o'clock. I will not eat after 7 p.m. because the acid reflux really is torture. It's awful. So if you're experiencing that, don't eat past 7, and make sure that you're not eating too much at a time, okay? Now I say 7 because I go to bed around like 9:30, 10, but you don't want to eat a big meal at least 2 hours before you plan to go to bed. Something else that I experienced month 8 was a little bit of hip soreness. So I think it's just more of her weight and pressure down. I don't know what exactly, but my hips were feeling pretty sore. Something that I have just started to do to open up my hips is to bounce on the big, I don't know, medicine ball or whatever it's called, yoga ball, and that helps to open up your hips and kind of give you a nice little stretch for labor. So I've started doing that. That was really it for symptoms for month 8. Other things that happened month 8 was my baby shower, which was wonderful. I did not film it at all. I did not have someone else film it. I was barely on my phone at all. I just wanted to soak it all in, take every moment in, and it was absolutely beautiful. It was just family and a few close friends due to COVID, and it was outside in my in-laws' backyard. We went with a princess theme, which you will see when I upload her nursery tour. That's the theme that we went with, so it was beautiful. Pinks, golds, whites, and I loved every bit of it. I felt so loved and supported. So shout out to my mother, my mother-in-law, father-in-law, grandparents. I mean, there's so many people that I have to thank for making my baby shower what it was. It was surrounded by love and support, and it was beautiful. So yes, that was month 8. And then something that I started to do was I started drinking red raspberry leaf tea. And if you've been pregnant before, or if you're pregnant now, I'm sure you've heard of it. It apparently is good for getting your uterus ready for labor. It helps to strengthen it. It's supposed to help make your postpartum recovery smoother. So it's not something that makes you go into labor, but it's supposed to make labor quicker and easier, and your recovery quicker and easier. So when I was 8 months, I started only drinking 1 cup a day. And I still drink it now, but I drink 2 cups a day. So I'll let you know if I feel like it really made a difference, but that is something that I started to drink during month 8. So now we're coming down the home stretch. I am going to talk about these last 2 weeks that I've had being 9 months pregnant. First thing was I went on maternity leave at 37 weeks. That was my last day of work. Thank God, because it was getting hard. It was getting real hard, and I was like, I can't do this no more. On top of that, I just moved out of my house, and that in and of itself was crazy. Shout out to my village, my family and friends who helped us to move, because I was really no help at all. So yeah, we are in a period of transition. We do not own a home yet. It is certainly not a buyer's market right now. But we were blessed to receive an amazing check from selling our place that we will use toward our next home when we find the one that we really want. So yeah, I went on maternity leave and I moved. We sold our condo, and both of those are a blessing, but it's just been a big period of transition right before baby girl gets here. So symptoms that I have had. My stomach. Well, first of all, I feel like she literally has no more room. It's so tight and hard, and like just literally pressing right here, I feel a limb. I can't tell you what it is, but it's like literally a thin layer of skin and the sack. But I can feel her limbs. She has no room in there. So it is very uncomfortable sitting up, bending over, washing dishes. My stomach just touches everything. It has gotten very, very big and itchy. And itchy to the point where in a certain spot, when that spot gets itchy, it's almost a little bit painful because it's just so tight right there and stretched. So what I'm using on my belly right now is the Palmer's Cocoa Butter Lotion and Bio Oil, both of those together. And anytime it gets really itchy and uncomfortable, I try not to scratch. I try to rub and then put moisturizer on my belly. But it has been itching like crazy these last couple of weeks, and it's been very annoying. And I would like to say that I don't have stretch marks, but I think I do. I think I definitely am going to have some, especially in like this belly button area. I'm pretty sure that they're going to be there just because it's stretched so much. Next thing that I have started experiencing are Braxton Hicks. Woohoo! If I'm more active, if I'm doing a lot of walking, or if I, just get out the shower or something and I'm out of breath from lotioning, because y'all, that is a whole sport in and of itself, okay? But yeah, I find when I'm more active and then I sit down, that's when they start. And they feel like very light period cramps, and they're not consistent, but they have started since I turned 9 months. So that's just my body gearing up, getting ready for labor. Something that happened to me literally this morning. like I said, I'm 38 weeks one day today, and I went for a walk, and literally only like 20 seconds into the walk, I had a really sharp pain in my stomach right here on this side that was constant. It did not go away. It felt as if, you know, when you get a muscle cramp like in your side, like if you don't have enough water and you're doing jumping jacks or something like that, and you get this cramp over here, it felt like that, but right here. And so I didn't walk far, came back into the house, and it went away. Baby was still moving. She had the hiccups, which is a really good sign. So I know everything is fine with her, but I think my body is just, I don't know. Like I said, she literally has no space. And I guess where she was laying during that walk maybe was on a nerve or something. I don't know. But that happened to me this morning. That never happened to me before. And as soon as I stopped walking, it went away. And then the last symptom that I just think I experienced was I started to lose my mucus plug. So if you don't know anything about that, it's literally like the egg white discharge or cervical mucus that I was talking to you about. That is like the perfect mucus that you know when your body is about to ovulate. That's the type that you produce. Once I got pregnant, I really stopped having that. And yesterday I started to lose it constantly throughout the day. One time it was a lot on the tissue, and that could mean I'll be going into labor very soon. It could mean that I just moved in a certain way, dislodged it, and it could come back. It can regenerate, but I feel like with me being so far along, that's probably not the case, and it's more so a sign that I'll be going into labor pretty soon. So yeah, I think I lost my mucus plug. It wasn't bloody, but then again, I haven't had much blood really at all during the pregnancy, and for some people they don't. So I don't know if that really means anything, but yeah, that happened yesterday. So I think I lost my mucus plug yesterday. I'm to the point now where I'm seeing my midwife every single week. My last appointment was last Thursday, and at that appointment, she felt for the baby's head. Baby is low. She's there. She's ready. She did not have to stick her fingers far at all. So her head is literally there. They guesstimated that she was around 6 pounds, give or take. And they heard her heartbeat. Everything was perfectly normal. I'm healthy, aside from gaining 40 pounds. They say everything looks great. Like I said, I'm healthy. Baby girl is healthy. So now we are just waiting. I am at the point where I can have her at any day, any time. But full term is considered 39 weeks. So I'm praying to make it at least to 39 weeks before I give birth. I almost forgot to show you guys what my belly looks like. So let me do that real quick. I'm in my brother's room. Really the only room that I can get peace and quiet and a somewhat decent background and light. But anyway, let me show y'all what the belly is looking like. Alright, so this is from the side. from the front and the other side. This girl is big. She don't got no more room. None. But I love it. Alright, so that concludes this video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, like, comment, subscribe. I will see you guys in my next video, which is going to be my nursery tour, because I have to get that up. I have to, even though it's very rushed and it did not look how I wanted it to look, I'm still going to post it because it was a real labor of love, and we are going to be putting it back up in my next home. So once we get the nursery done in there, we'll put everything back up, and maybe I'll do another updated one. But anyway, stay tuned for that for the next video. And yes, I love y'all. I'll see you guys next time. I need to get up off this floor. Back is hurting, out of breath. You gotta love it. Bye.